Hi, good evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about common colds and traditional methods that our ancestors, parents, and probably our grandparents used for us whenever we had a common cold or a cough. Now, things have changed over times and we've become so used to quick fixes, and most of these quick fixes involve medication that either have side effects or just simply treat the symptom and never, address the root cause. And anything that's a quick fix or anything that just treats the symptom actually compromises and weakens immunity over time. Am I saying don't take medication? No, take it. We may all need it at some particular time. You never want a virus or a germ or a bacteria to express itself into a more ugly or progressive disease. So there is a time that you may have to take it, but what about all the other times when you can prevent it? So there are three traditional tips. Most of you might be doing it right now. And let's first understand a common cold. What is a common cold? It's usually a collection of different viruses that enter your body. Now, the natural defense mechanism of the human body is to produce inflammation. Although inflammation may be the number one root cause of most diseases, I'm talking about chronic inflammation. Inflammation is a good thing for us. Our immunity kicks in the moment there's a virus in us, and it starts inflaming the linings around our sinus, which is why people who have sinus feel that throbbing along this whole area of their face. They feel uncomfortable. It also inflames your nasal passage, and you'll find a lot of mucus happening. The human body is brilliant. It has its own intelligence to protect you. So you start clumping mucus because mucus can hold on to certain germs and pathogens which otherwise would have gone straight down into your system. That's another reason why we have hair growing in our nose. And that hair has its function of holding on to certain germs and pathogens that probably enter us. So when you have a cold, that discomfort that you feel, that heavy head that you feel, or a sinus or an asthma or an allergy, and that heaviness that you feel is uncomfortable for us. So we resort to taking a medication which gives us immediate relief but really never does anything about the cold. And the biggest mistake is when we treat a common cold with antibiotic, because antibiotics only work on bacterial infections and most colds are viral infections. So an antibiotic is probably only giving you comfort, but it's never working to treat your virus. So let's go back to one of the traditional methods to reduce that discomfort, because like I always say, today our human race, be it our kids or us as adults, we want relief from discomfort immediately, which is why quick fixes work for us. And so when you have discomfort, the first thing that the human mind and body is looking for are ways to get that discomfort away. So what if we could get rid of that discomfort naturally? So let's talk about that first traditional method. It's called steaming. Good old steaming. Now the dangers of steaming are if you're careless with the hot water. If you try to get your kid to steam and that steam is just so strong and you put his head too close and his face can get scalded or her face can get scalded, or she or he drops the vessel of hot water and can cause serious burns and serious injuries. Other than that, there are only pros for it. So the traditional method, your parents probably did it to you. They would fill a vessel of hot water and they would make you bend your head at a safe distance between the water and your face, and they would cover you with a towel to keep the steam concentrated in that area, and you would slowly inhale the steam. Now that steam goes through your nasal passage, your sinus linings. It reduces inflammation, it clears up any blockage of mucus, allowing more oxygen to pass through the right way. That immediately removes discomfort. So anyone right now, if you have a heavy head, try steaming. Okay, it's not going to possibly take away your cold completely, but the amount of comfort it's going to give you is probably enough for you to decide that, hey, let me ride this out naturally. I don't need that medicine. I don't need that quick fix right now. So it basically opens up your entire nasal passage, which allows more oxygen in, which boosts your immunity, and it allows you to pass out more mucus. While your head's over that vessel, you'll probably find a lot of snot dripping into that vessel. Let it happen. Because it's another thing. When you have a runny nose, it's a good thing. It's your body's natural defense mechanism basically getting rid out of the mucus which is possibly infected. So sometimes that mucus coming out of your nose would be yellow, or that cough that throws up that phlegm would be yellow and green. That's infected. That's good. It's not supposed to be inside of your body, which is why your body's trying to expel it. But what we do is, if we have a runny nose, we try to breathe it back in. Does that make sense? Your body's trying to expel whatever's bad for you, and we're breathing it back in. So encourage your children and yourself to constantly Let it out, blow it out. It's very, very important. Coughs, don't try to suppress a cough. Although today, don't take a cough lightly. If you're coughing for a very, 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 very long time, especially if you live in India, you want to check for TB. You do want to check for TB. It's rampant. Not many people talk about it because it's a taboo in India to say, oh, I have TB. It's a poor man's disease, supposedly. But I can't tell you how many people in rich societies in urban India have TB today. So that's just something, digressing from the topic. If you have a constant cough and you're either putting on weight or you're losing weight, you want to get your TB test done, especially if you live in India. Anyway, coming back to that, when you're coughing, your body's producing a cough to expel something in your system. So allow that to happen, but listen. Always listen to the biofeedback that your body is giving you. If it's a wet cough, it's telling you that there's congestion. There's a lot of phlegm and mucus in you. So then you steam to loosen that mucus so it comes out. If it's a dry cough, it's different. So steaming is the most important thing. Now, you can add a little bit of turmeric powder to that hot water and inhale that vapor. That's fantastic for you. Some people prefer to put a little bit of eucalyptus oil in. So it's your way. You could just do eucalyptus oil. You could do plain water. I prefer turmeric. I feel that that's anti-inflammatory in nature when you ingest it. And I feel the relief that you get. And most of my patients who add a little bit of turmeric to that water that they're going to inhale also feel the same way. They feel much, much more comfortable. So that's steam number one. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to get your young baby or infant close to that. That's going to be dangerous. So make a wise decision when it comes to the age of your child or yourself as well. Okay, so that's steaming. The second thing, hot liquids are so important. And I'm not talking about tea and coffee because you want to stay off milk, even in your tea and coffee when you have mucus in you. Because milk is mucus forming and here you're trying to get rid of mucus from your system. So you want to do hot liquids. The best hot liquid that works wonders with everyone, and again, it's traditional to us, is hot water with pure honey, a little bit of grated ginger, and a little bit of lemon juice. Now you can add turmeric to this concoction, and if you add turmeric to this concoction, you want to add a little bit of black pepper, because we all know that curcumin, the element in turmeric that does all the magic, gets better absorbed in the body in the presence of piperine, which is found in black pepper. So I'll repeat that once again. A cup of hot water. Honey, never boil honey in water. You want to get a really good honey and add it to the hot water. Never boil it. A little bit of grated ginger, a little bit of turmeric and black pepper if you want, and a little bit of lemon juice. And that hot liquid goes in and it soothes your throat lining. It goes into your body. It opens up your passages again. And that's how you help your body fight your cold. If we help our body fight diseases and colds and viruses, the body works far better, even though it's designed to protect itself. But today in our world where we need to recover really quickly because of, that's what life's all about, we need to help our body if we want to recover quickly and stay off medications that cause side effects and damage to our body, unless you really need them. And the third thing is something that your grandmother probably told you about. When you have that cold and that fever, keep yourself warm. The first thing that you need to get on is a pair of socks, because you have to understand your fingers and your palms and your toes and your foot. These are areas in your body that release heat and also absorb. It's extremely important that you keep these extremities absolutely warm. So even while wrapping up yourself in a blanket or wearing a jacket, even if it's hot outside, you want to help the body break a fever, and you'll actually see that as you produce a sweat, the mucus from your nose starts coming out, you start feeling a little bit better. So these are 3 tips which have worked for decades and decades and have somehow been lost with everything that we're misled with or told that this is the best way and this is inexpensive. And, we believe that we need complication. We need that I can't tell you how many times people come to me and the only thing that I write on a prescription is, hey, deep breathe, do a little bit of steam, and they're like, nothing else, no pill, no nutraceutical, no supplement. It's like we want something, otherwise it's not going to work. But just go back to tradition and you'll find it's inexpensive, it works with years of wisdom and experience. There are no side effects of this. It's practically inexpensive. All you got to do is make that effort. If you believe in it, start doing it and see how it works for you. Have a good night, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.